Want me to cancel your satellite service? Okay. So we had a client who was not happy with his TV service. Tried everything we could to help him out, but there was no helping him. We were pretty sure he was credit hopping, asking to get a reduction on bill. But we note everything, so we knew what he was up to. Finally he snaps, gets rude, and says, "Just cancel my service." We ask, "Are you sure?" and he screams, "Yes." Usually we close it off at end of billing cycle, but not this time. We send an immediate disconnect and he starts screaming, "What happened to my TV?" "Well, sir, we offered you many options to fix the issue, but you rejected them all and you said cancel." We asked, "Are you sure?" and you said yes. Have a nice day. He hung up. Eventually he called back and had it reconnected, but not till the next day. Probably missed what he wanted to watch that night. TBF. TV service companies are terrible. All of them. I'll never pay for cable. Not saying you specifically, op, but in general. If you're paying for cable, you're getting screwed. I was led to believe that threatening to cancel your cable service is just something you have to do every now and then when the rate's to up. I tried it once, and it was super awkward, but they did offer to lower my bill. Eventually I realized I can just call and politely ask if there's anything they can do to lower my bill without threatening to cancel. Usually they find some promotional deal and I'm good for another year. I still find it incredibly annoying that I have to play this stupid game. But at least we can all be polite about it. But I meant cancel the bill, not the service. Quote, canceling TV services and phone services are horrible situations. Cancelled my O2 UK service about 5 years ago and the guy on the other end of the phone was unbelievably awkward with it. I finished my contract 2 months prior. Only had the service fees, so it should have just been, "You want to cancel? I'll sort that right out for you." Instead the guy kept pushing and pushing. There was nothing wrong with the service. There was. Signal in my place of work was awful and their rates were higher than where I wanted to move to, but that was beside the point. I had no obligation to them anymore. He argued on the phone for 20 minutes that their service maps showed that there was plenty of signal in the area, given I was there every day. I can confirm there was not. Again, beside the point. Tried to tell me I needed a good reason to cancel something I was no longer under contract for. I eventually had to shout to get it through to him, and I hate being like that, but he was not going to do as I asked. They canceled it. If they had canceled it and cut my service before the end of the billing period that I'd paid for already, I'd have been pretty angry too. Sometimes people just want to cancel their service. Just let them. If they're not under contract, don't try to cling on to them. They don't have to accept a repair. Especially when technicians often give a full day window and cancel on the day. I haven't had TV service in 5 years. Back in ye olden times, I used to work phone technical support for America Online. I was also cross-trained in billing and saves. Those calls usually came my way because the caller had either done the phone tree wrong or it was overflow. I wasn't part of the saves team. I didn't participate in their incentives. So if you called me and said you wanted to cancel the service, I canceled you then and there. Have a great day and thanks for calling America Online. I had satellite TV years ago from one of the 2 major providers in the US. I would have loved if this was all they did to me when I called to cancel. Instead they called me up to 30 times a day between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. for weeks trying to get me to come back. Called from all different numbers so I couldn't even block them. Years ago, when CATV was still analog, Wednesday was non-pay disconnect time. We installers had to go to each delinquent customer's residence and try to collect If they weren't home or didn't pay, we disconnected their service with at the side of the house or from the pole. Many times I could hear the TV blaring while I banged on the door. Folks would refuse to answer, so I would walk around the side of the house and disconnect. The sound of the static was very satisfying. 90% of the time they would run out and catch me getting back in my truck with a, "How much do I owe?" Did he pay for the month, or did you at least refund the money of the month of service that he paid for? Cable companies are horrible. I hardly see me taking your side. Love the way you called his bluff! Exclamation mark. I just realized it's been almost 20 years since we had cable TV. My son pays for HBO Max. My daughter for Disney Plus. And we pay for Amazon. Every once in a while we do a trial service if there is something we want to watch on that service. There are only a couple of current shows I watch, and I'm willing to wait until the next season is streaming or on DVD at the library. Only one day in timeout? Imagine if he was soft banned for 3 months. Don't cable and satellite companies have you pay for the future month? Hadn't this customer already paid for the remainder of the billing cycle? The kicker is that while turning such services off can be just a quick flip of a switch, turning them back on can take days if not weeks. I ran a service HVAC service department. A very busy and profitable one. Techs ran hard all the time and paid well. I would laugh when people would call for service, ask our rates, and then try to negotiate the price down. "We are busy and you want a discount?" "I don't think so." I would politely let them know the price wasn't going to change, and they would threaten to call another company. Like I care. I remember a few people getting terribly pissy, and I would offer up the competitor's phone number. These hacks are all over Instagram. I can just imagine what hell it causes when people find out that they won't just get their way if they threaten to leave. I love a story where a cable service provider is intentionally dickish. Wait, all cable service provider stories are like that. Right now, I'm waiting for AT&T to run fiber in my area. Then I'll be dropping Spectrum, which I only have them for internet anyway. I use antennas and streaming services for TV. Congratulations on mildly inconveniencing an average satellite TV customer. I hope there was a reconnection fee. That would be even better.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.